ومع حلقة جديدة مع الطريقة السهلة لترك التدخين. يلا بينا.
However, as smokers, we think of certain cigarettes as particularly special, and the thought of being deprived of these can be very worrying. So let's look at these so-called special cigarettes. The only reason the first cigarette in the morning seems special is because you've gone all night without one. So the relief from nicotine withdrawal seems that much more precious. But non-smokers don't have this problem when they wake up. This cigarette during a break is special because it's time out to relax from your usual activities. But you can't relax without the cigarette because you feel the need to relieve your nicotine withdrawal. Non-smokers don't have this problem. They're relaxed at these times without a cigarette. Smokers believe a cigarette gives them an excuse for a break and fear that when they quit, they won't be able to take breaks. The fact is, smokers need breaks in order to feed their nicotine addiction, otherwise they get uptight. As a non-smoker, you can enjoy as many breaks as a smoker without poisoning yourself or being forced out into the rain or freezing cold to get your fix. It's often more difficult to relax and concentrate while on the phone. As a smoker, you're less relaxed and less able to concentrate when you're withdrawing from nicotine, and because you're being distracted by your craving. So you feel the need to smoke. But non-smokers don't have this problem when they answer the phone. Nor did you before you started smoking. And nor will you when you're free.
Listen, do you want me to go to the shops?
When do you want to meet up?
You should be particularly relaxed after exercise, but you won't be completely relaxed because of the need to feed the little nicotine monster. Non-smokers don't have this problem, and you too can look forward to enjoying those moments of relaxation after exercise without needing to choke yourself to death. The favourite cigarette for most smokers is the one with a drink or after a meal. It's simply that at these times you should be completely relaxed. Work is over, you're sitting down, you've relieved your hunger for food, quenched your thirst. You often have pleasant company and nothing to do except enjoy yourself. Look again at our barometer of well-being. On an occasion like this, non-smokers will be on a high. If you're a smoker and can smoke, you'll also feel on a high, though in reality, you're below a non-smoker. But if you can't smoke, you'll be utterly miserable. So in this situation, the difference between having a cigarette or not is the difference between feeling on a high or feeling miserable. This is the real reason the nicotine monster is so powerful, and why smokers go to extraordinary lengths to get their nicotine fix. Non-smokers don't have this problem, and you'll enjoy these occasions far more once you're free. These particular cigarettes also feel special because in each case you've not had one for some time, and so the relief from withdrawal seems more precious. In fact, it's never the cigarettes themselves that are special. They're always identical. It's the situations you're in that change your perception. When you feed the monster, you associate the relief with the particular cigarette and the situation you're in, which intensifies the brainwashing that you can't enjoy these situations without smoking. In reality, you'll enjoy them far more once you're free. If you still believe that you do enjoy smoking, light one up now, take 6 deep puffs on it, analyse the feeling, and ask yourself what you're enjoying about it. Once you've understood that smoking gives you no genuine pleasure or crutch whatsoever, you'll suffer no feelings of deprivation when you stop. So why do smokers find it such a trauma trying to stop on the willpower method? They know the disadvantages of smoking outweigh the advantages, and that they'd be better off as non-smokers. But because they don't understand the nicotine trap, they still believe that smoking provides them with a genuine pleasure or crutch, and that they're making a sacrifice. They force themselves into a self-imposed tantrum, like a child being deprived of its sweets. They hope that if they can endure the misery of the tantrum for long enough, time will heal the wound, the craving will go, and they'll be free. However, in the vast majority of cases, this approach fails, as the ex-smoker feels deprived, miserable, and irritable, to the point where life as a non-smoker seems intolerable. Because the empty, insecure feeling caused by the little monster is indistinguishable from hunger and normal stress, and because ex-smokers continue to experience hunger and normal stress after they've quit, they often interpret those feelings in their mind as, I want a cigarette, even after the little monster has disappeared. And so they're never sure whether they've kicked it. And even if they do manage to stop permanently, they're often left moping for a cigarette at certain times for the rest of their lives. Alan Carr's method uses the opposite approach, changing your perception of cigarettes even before you stop, so that afterwards you don't miss them. Smokers often try to cut down because they can't face stopping completely, but it doesn't work. You don't allow yourself to light up whenever you want to, so you're suffering the craving most of the time and waiting to smoke. Now your whole life is dominated by the next cigarette, which seems the most precious thing on earth, and you usually end up smoking more than you did before. All the so-called special cigarettes seem to be after a period of abstinence. The first in the morning, after a meal, after work, after exercise, after sex, etc. This is because the only actual pleasure or crutch smokers receive when they light up is not the cigarette itself, but the ending of the aggravation of craving it. Just like a hunger for food, the longer you suffer it, the greater the pleasure when you finally relieve it. So the less we smoke, the greater the illusion of pleasure. Far from helping you to escape from the trap, cutting down keeps you a slave for life. And smokers make the mistake of thinking it's just a habit. They think, if I can get into the habit of just smoking a few a day, after a while I'll get used to that. You need to get it clearly into your mind, smoking is not a habit, it's drug addiction. If it was simply a habit, you would have already broken it. Perhaps you think habits are hard to break. They're not. In Britain we're in the habit of driving on the left, but have no problem switching to the right when abroad. Furthermore, the nature of drug addiction is to want more and more, not less and less. Fortunately, the addiction is also easy to break, providing you understand the nature of the trap. You now have all the information you need to stop smoking easily, painlessly, and permanently. Provided you've understood the nicotine trap and realised that cigarettes do absolutely nothing for you at all. And let me make this clear, I don't simply mean the disadvantages of smoking outweigh the advantages, that's obvious. I mean you've realised that there are no advantages, no genuine pleasure or crutch whatsoever. Then you're ready to follow the instructions that'll make it easy for you to quit. The brainwashing has been reversed. Your perceptions have changed. The illusions you had about smoking have gone, and you now see cigarettes for what they really are. You thought they were your friend, but in fact, they're your worst enemy. Get it clearly into your mind, there's nothing to give up. The pleasure, crutch, relaxation, stress relief, prop, reward or friend you thought smoking gave you were illusions. Smoking is simply drug addiction. You're not making any sacrifice whatsoever, so there's no reason to feel deprived. You didn't enjoy being a smoker, that's why you've decided to stop. You're achieving what every smoker would love to achieve: freedom. You're making marvellous positive gains in health, energy, money, self-respect, confidence, and, most importantly of all, in the length and quality of your future life. And you're losing nothing at all. This is one of those rare situations where there's absolutely no downside whatsoever and a huge upside. So approach the process of stopping, not with doom or gloom, but with a marvellous feeling of excitement, a sense of relief that the whole filthy nightmare is finally over, and a feeling of elation that you're now finally free. Enjoy being a non-smoker right from the start. I would like you now to smoke your very last and final cigarette.